from struggle rapper to having a business that's sold tens of thousands of products, is in almost every country in every state. We got Zach Windahl. Don't you go anywhere. Yo, what's going on? My name is Ruslan, hip-hop artist, creative entrepreneur with KingsDreamENT.com, empowering, encouraging, inspiring you to live out God's dream for your life. We tend to have all kinds of different topics that we cover. We tend to have different guests, a diversity of guests, and it all lands at this idea of living God's best for your life. And today, I have what I think is one of the most fascinating people I've had the chance of meeting and hanging out with. And we have all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota, way of Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, Zach Windahl. How you doing, man?
Hey, so good, man. Thank you for having me a part of this. This is incredible what you guys are doing.
Shout out to Ray Rock.
Hey,
in the studio audience. Hello. Hello. So Ray Rock introduced me to you.
Yep.
We've been hanging out the past couple of days. You had a California burrito yesterday.
Bro, I'm telling you, you have treated us well. Thank you for that burrito.
You had some of my wife's pancakes today.
Yeah. Yo, she knows how to cook.
I didn't have any pancakes, guys. I'm on day 23, no sugar. I'm very sad. I couldn't have any California burrito or pancakes, but Zach enjoyed both for me.
I don't know how you do it, man, without having to be able to eat that. That's crazy, because it was incredible. It put me off my diet, that's for sure.
Word. So you are originally from Minneapolis.
Yep.
I want to really unpack your story, but
Yeah.
What's crazy is that you started as a rapper.
Yeah.
And you've pivoted and you've built this amazing product.
Yeah.
That you have 19 employees.
Yeah, there's like 19 people that run the business right now,
Yeah.
which is incredible. They're on contracts and hourly. Yeah.
Tens of thousands of these sold
Yeah.
in almost every state.
Every single state, almost every country in the world.
That's crazy. And and you just turned 30?
31.
31.
So, yep, 32 next month.
Incredible story. 32 next month. Like, you started as a rapper, though.
Yeah. Started as a rapper and owning a clothing line. So
We heard some of the raps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yo, the raps, that was a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
That was 19 years ago. No, when was that? 11 years ago.
11 years ago, you're rapping. You're in Minneapolis.
Up in Minneapolis.
Church kid?
Church kid. Grew up in the church. Grew up with an amazing family bringing me to church all the time. But I loved hip hop so much. So.
And you were doing kind of like this alternative, like almost
Totally.
Linkin Park vibe.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like a coffee shop vibe. So like, if you went to a coffee shop, there was an acoustic guitar player, a girl singing, and me rapping.
Yep. And it didn't work out.
It did. Yeah.
Why did it not work out?
Honestly, like we made quite a few albums. We played almost every single weekend for a while, but then I came to a conclusion that I wasn't the best rapper around.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Because I don't know. I just thought I sucked.
She just thought she sucked? What do you mean?
Yo, I wasn't that good. We listened to it last night.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. Actually,
Bro,
it wasn't bad.
It
wasn't bad.
To me, it was bad. I'm like so focused on excellence and making sure things are good, and I knew I wasn't living up to my potential.
Okay, so then you pivot, and you're simultaneously running the music, your clothing line and studio at the same time.
Yeah, bro. So at that time, when I was doing music, I was also doing a clothing line. Started a few different ones. Also booking bands into venues. I've always kind of just had my hands in a bunch of different pots.
Bunch of different stuff.
Just to try to make ends meet.
So you shift from music,
Yep.
running bands, running a studio. You decide music's not for you, but you're still doing creative stuff. You're still a part of music, and you're still doing a clothing line.
Totally.
Fast forward, that evolves, and you kind of hit this place of taking your faith serious, right? And then we just glossed over a couple years,
for sure.
But you hit this roadblock, and you're like, yo, you had a conversation with God. Tell me about that.
Yeah, basically, so I decided to stop doing music, but I was still in the industry. So I ran a recording studio with some friends. I was doing like creative direction for them and everything, but it wasn't really popping off the way that I wanted it to.
Okay.
Worked on a few other projects that also weren't popping off. And in 2014, I hit a spot where I was like, everything was falling apart. I was working on a project that didn't get picked up. I just lost my job because we had gotten bought out, and I really started to question my faith at that point. I was like, man, do I consider myself a Christian? Even though I grew up in the church and I saw God move in amazing ways, I just wasn't sure if I wanted that title. And so I hit this spot where I was at a super low, kind of devastated in where I was at, and decided to move out to Australia. So I moved out to Australia in 2014 to study the Bible super intensely for 9 months. I mean, we were
That's a lot of Bible study for 9 months, bro.
Straight up studying 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And then on the 7th day, when everybody else was like hanging out, I would usually go to the store, buy a book, and read a whole book on that 7th day, because I was like, I moved
Hold on. You would read a whole book?
Yeah, straight
Your
up.
Sabbath consisted of more studying?
Yeah, bro, because I literally moved there to study the Bible, and so I wanted to take full advantage of my time. I'm kind of full on when it comes to studying and stuff.
So you have this. You go to Australia.
Yeah.
And this is a Bible program.
Yep. So just this little school out there.
So you're a part of this Bible program.
Yeah.
You're studying the Bible. They made it so you can skip the prerequisites.
Yep.
Right?
They allowed me to. Yep.
You were older, like mid to late 20s.
Yeah. And I had already I had a degree from a Christian college and everything like that.
And so you hit this program.
Yeah.
And then you come back to the States.
Yep.
You got all this knowledge.
Yeah.
And your vision.
Yeah.
Outside of first being an artist and then doing clothing line, your vision was cool. I took this thing. I'm going to go back there at some point.
Totally.
And teach some of these classes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was my goal, to take everything that I learned and go be a part of that school and like give them 2 years to teach everything that I had just learned, because I think when you learn so much over the course of 9 months and then you go and teach others, you actually recall everything that you just learned, because it's so easy when you cram that much in to forget it all.
Yep. But then that didn't happen. What happened?
It didn't happen. So politically, I just wasn't able to go out there. And so I was at home, stuck in Minnesota at the time. And I was like, man, what am I going to do here? This is I thought I was supposed to go teach.
Yeah. Well, it didn't happen because they couldn't, the prerequisites. You didn't have the prerequisites.
Because I couldn't, since I skipped the prerequisite, I couldn't teach the advanced program. So is what it is.
Little technicality.
Totally cool. Yeah. And
now you're devastated at this point.
I was, because I thought that was the plan.
Yeah.
But then I realized that God had something completely different plan for it.
And what happened? You come back. You're like, Dag, I can't do this. This is what I really thought I was gonna do.
Yeah.
All along, you have this trajectory. You'll have this trajectory, right?
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I'm gonna do music, or oh, I'm gonna start this clothing line. This is gonna okay, cool. Now I'm gonna go teach Bible study. Okay, but the trajectory of our lives isn't always linear.
Yeah.
It's a lot of diversions in this way and that way. So then what happens? You're devastated. You give God this 9 months.
Yeah.
And now your faith is bigger and realer than it's ever been. And what happens? What's the conversation you have with God?
Yeah, man. That night I was like, all right, God, what is the plan here? I thought this was it. I wanted to go out there, and he was like, you're going to teach more than just 30 people in a classroom. You're going to teach people all around the world. And that night I was given a full vision for what the Bible study was supposed to look like, the layout of it, and I knew exactly what I needed to do from there on out.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And you heard it that clearly. You heard God tell you, you're not just going to teach a class of 30 people, which you would have been pumped on. You're like, I could teach the Bible.
Totally, incredible.
You're going to teach a class that's going to be impact. What did he say?
Yeah, that was going to impact people all over the world. And now we're in almost every country in the world. After the first year of the business.
That's freaking dope.
Wild. And he's always spoken to me very clearly about business stuff.
Yeah.
I just never, for a long time, I didn't know it was his voice. And so then once I realized it was like, oh, dang, this is crazy. This is about to be nuts.
If you go back and tell the 19-year-old version of you, who wanted to be a rapper and was, decent, getting stuff off the ground, and look, this is how things are gonna go.
Right.
What do you think the 19-year-old version of you would have said to you?
You're whack. Like straight up, because I wouldn't have believed that, because at that time when I was 19, I was really falling away from my faith, because I was just around so many people that weren't believers, and a lot of the Christians that I was around were not living out their faith, and it drove me crazy. And so I let that affect my view of God when I shouldn't have, but that's just where I was at 19. And so because of that, like, everything changed.
You have this amazing encounter. Your life does not go the way you planned, but it's better than what you planned.
100%.
There's a bunch of rappers right now watching this video. A percentage of them shouldn't be rapping.
For sure. Of course. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. I was that person.
What you have now
Yeah.
is so much better than what you thought
Totally.
you wanted.
But I wouldn't have changed it for anything, because in that process, I learned and grew so much.
Yes.
And it was in that failure that built me up into the foundation to be where I am now.
In transitioning, you get this product idea. God gives you this vision. It's called Bible study.
Yeah.
And it's essentially a devotional Bible through the year.
Yep.
With questions, commentary. You take all this knowledge that you have, the zeal and the passion for music and being a creative.
Yeah.
You go, you get the Bible knowledge. That gets then channeled into your entrepreneurial side.
Yeah.
And you launch this product. You guys do a Kickstarter.
Yep.
You raise 25,000?
24,000 in 30 days.
24,000 in 30 days. That gives you your seed money.
Yep.
He didn't have to get a freaking investor. He didn't have to go max out his credit cards.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
If you're able to do that and have other people pay for your dreams, why wouldn't you?
Yep. So you boom, you guys get this product off the ground. This is 2017.
2016.
2016 is the Kickstarter?
No, 2017 is the Kickstarter. Yeah,
2017 is the Kickstarter. Gotta make sure I got my facts right.
Yeah, for sure.
Boom, you do this product, you launch, and initially, it's not going so great.
For sure. Yeah, it didn't. So we launched October of 2017, and it didn't do what I expected it to. But I was like, looking at this Kickstarter thinking, yo, we just crushed it 3 months ago, 4 months ago. How is it not succeeding now? And the Lord was like, your heart's in the wrong spot.
Wow.
Yeah. Because at that time, I was like, dang, I made this dope
You're like, I'm dying to myself, Lord.
Like,
I stopped music. I stopped the clothing company. What do you mean my heart's not in the right place?
But at that point, I was like so in the mindset of like, I want to be a pastor. I want to speak on stages. I want to write books. But yo, I don't like speaking on stages, and I don't like writing. I just know how to develop a product, and I know how to write. And so like I saw a need, and I filled the need as an entrepreneur.
But in the process, you thought you wanted the platform.
Exactly. But I realized that that's not actually where my heart is and what I want to do with my life. I want to develop tools for believers to further their faith. And does that provide a platform a lot of the times? Yeah, it does, but it's not my initial intent of getting to that platform. And that's the difference. CD
Jakes has a really cool quote. He said, some people desire fame. He said, I never desired to be famous.
Yeah.
I desired to be effective.
So good.
Fame was a byproduct of that.
Come on. Yeah, and that's true. And you see that all the time with a lot of people. And you see a lot of people fail chasing after that fame when they realize that their heart's in the wrong spot there. And if they actually just focused on changing people's lives and developing a good product, that the Lord will boost them up to that platform anyways.
Yeah, another way to phrase it is if you just focus on adding value, on serving people, on solving problems.
For sure.
That the money, the lifestyle will come as a byproduct of solving problems.
Totally. It's like Solomon asking for wisdom instead of fame, money, and everything like that, and the Lord gave him both.
Yeah. So boom. So you guys launched this product. You got a great launch.
Yeah.
God tells you your heart's in the right place. When did things change? Obviously, you had to change some things inside internally.
For sure.
So just talk about that and how kind of exploded after that.
Yeah. So I literally took a step back for like 2 weeks, probably, just figuring out what I did want in life, what that looked like. And once I did refocus and I started reaching out to people, that's when it kind of took off. So I started DMing people on Instagram. Like, bro, literally the business was built off of Instagram, and it still runs off of Instagram and Facebook ads. But I watched this Gary Vee video that was like teaching you how to basically contact people through DMs. And so I would literally just send people a message, and I would say, hey, this is Zach. I developed a tool I developed a Bible study that I think you would really enjoy. Can I send you a free copy? And that was it. And bro, like 90% of people would respond, no matter what amount of followers they had, they would respond saying, yeah. And so I would never ask them to post about it. I would never ask anything from them. But the fact that I was providing them something of value for free and not asking for anything in return, they were in return wanted to help me out in any way they could. And because of that, everything changed.
Little tactic there, little tidbit, something simple.
Let's go.
So then that starts picking up. From the influencer Instagram side, and then you get into Facebook ads.
Yep. And so I was running ads all of 2018, and we did well last year, but you can do really well. You can make, like, as an example, you can make 6 figures, but that doesn't mean you're profiting 6 figures, which a lot of people don't realize. Like, you could be making $1 million, and it doesn't mean you're making $1 million in profit. Like, you could have 950,000 in costs and only be making 50,000.
You know? That's a fact. So you're running Facebook ads, and then within this last year, it seems like it's really taken off.
Yeah, 100%. I'd say even over just the last 3 months. So we started off the year doing way better than we did in 2018. But then in June, we sponsored VU conference down in Miami. And so we had like a big photo area there. I partnered with one of my favorite artists in the world, Tiago Magro. And so we had this awesome installation. And so from there, it opened up so many new doors that now over the last like 5-6 weeks, I feel like everything has completely changed, and it's skyrocketed even more.
All along, you're not paying yourself from the business.
Nah, of course not, bro. I had a full.
Hold on, of course not. You can't brush over that. Your mentality is very mature. You're saying, we're building this thing. It's going good. Most people would have been like, we raised 25 grand. I'm quitting my job. You're like, no, I got to practice restraint. I got to take my time. You're working a sales job. You're bivocational this entire time.
Bro, I had a sales job or another job for my entire 20s because I knew that if I wanted to eventually go full time, I had to have a safety net and I had to be okay on the side. So I'm working 7 to 4 or 8 to 4 every single day, Monday through Friday, and then running this business on the side. And we had 19 people running this business before I ever paid myself $1.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, it just shows where your priorities are. It shows the restraint 100%. And the maturity that you had to say, if I delay gratification, everybody wants to get paid now. I get so many DMs. Hey, man, can you mentor me? I want to be a full-time rapper. Like, this decade?
Right.
Or in 5 years from now?
For sure.
You know what I mean? And so it's like you practice that restraint. And now when you do finally start paying yourself out of the business, out of the profits, you're able to have a more pleasant, comfortable lifestyle.
Yeah, 100%. And that's when it's able to like really grow, because if you're paying yourself when you aren't making a lot, then your profit margins just remain low for a really long time. But if you double down and have a full-time job and grind at the same time, like, bro, you lose so many friends that way. You miss out on so many things by doing it that way. But in the end result, you're so much further ahead in less amount of time. And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
If we're going to talk particulars, again, tens of thousands of these things sold. We're talking a 19-person team. You are now transitioning to being, you quit your job how long ago?
I quit my job 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago. You're
and this is year 2 of over 2 years of the business.
And you're transitioning into Lil Flex, being by on coastal or by regional, I guess. You have a home in Minneapolis, and you're moving to Miami.
Yeah, so I got a spot down in Miami too. So the goal is to be able to do 2 weeks in Miami every month, 1 week in Minneapolis, and then 1 week traveling. But like, in reality, I just traveled the last 6 weeks straight, but it's a blast. It's always work though. That's something else that people don't understand. Like, I didn't take a day off for 6 years of my 20s. I haven't been on vacation in probably 15 years. I travel a lot, but it's always, and I have a lot of fun when I'm on the road, but it's always because there's a meeting or there's a connection that I can make. And and a lot of people are like, yo, I need a vacation. I just worked for 2 months. Like, nah.
You don't need a freaking vacation.
Yeah,
if you ain't in your 30s, you don't need. If you ain't in 30s with a wife and kids, you don't need a vacation.
Right.
And if you're not where you want to be financially and career wise.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. And
Yeah.
I hadn't been where I wanted to be, so I knew the grind that had to take place in order to get there. But a lot of people aren't willing to struggle like that.
That's so good, man. Oh man. So you're in this really cool spot. Business is gonna explode. If you guys haven't heard or seen Bible study, you're doing the physical book.
Yep.
You guys have Sunday.
Yep.
And then you're going to be doing the teen version.
Yeah. So we have the normal copy, which is a physical copy. It's a 1-year study of the Bible.
Yeah.
And then we also have a youth version coming out in October, November, which is just a 90-day version of the Bible study.
Ray, could you please do me a favor and go grab my copy?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I should have had it.
No,
It's
you're
my
good.
mistake.
Excuse me.
Ray's gonna. I want you guys to see this because it's
Yeah.
actually really, like he gave it to me and I was like, wow. First of all, this looks and feels amazing. I'm really excited to get into it.
Yeah.
You're in a place where so many people want to be.
Yeah.
It's not linear,
For sure.
but it's better.
Yeah, totally.
It's better, and I just think I know so many of you guys are there right now. You think you should be doing one thing, but you're afraid. You're afraid to work.
Yeah.
You're afraid to
that's real.
grind. You're afraid to give up your social life. You're afraid. You're afraid to not be normal, and normal gets you broke. Normal gets you sick. Normal gets you depressed. Be okay with being abnormal so that you can get to that place that you actually want to be. And it may not be the thing you think you want to do at 19, 20, 25. It may be something polar opposite that's like you wake up and you're like, dude, I got this rad life. I'm doing all this cool stuff. And it's not the way you thought it was going to be at 19
sure.
or 25.
Not at all. And it's always going to take way longer than you expect.
Yeah.
I get so many people that like want to launch a business in a few months when
Yeah.
in reality it's going to be a few years until it's actually doing something.
Yeah.
I think businesses average it's 2 to 3 years until a business actually is successful.
Right.
So-
Right. Okay. So here's the Old Testament. So this is what it looks like. And there's an Old Testament, there's a New Testament.
Yep. New
And it's
Testament.
literally every book in the Bible with commentary,
Full color.
question, full color. This thing is dope. Like, I have my Devo out. This is going to be right in my little Devo section. I do read my Bible every day. I know some of you guys are like, why is he talking about crazy stuff? We get into the Word every morning.
Yes.
And so where can they get this?
Yeah.
And how much is it?
Yeah, so thebrandsunday.com. It's $38 for the set.
The brand Sunday.
Thebrandsunday.com.
Okay.
That gives you access to all of our stuff. So Sunday is kind of the umbrella company. The Bible study is one of our products. So you can also see the clothing and that whole line there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the 19-year-old version of you
Yeah.
watching this right now.
Yeah.
He's in his feelings already.
Yeah.
He's irritated with Ruslan for me telling him that he may not need to be rapping because he's not naturally progressing at
For
it at
sure.
the way other people are, maybe at the way he could be if he put in a little bit extra effort. What advice do you have for that kid, the 19-year-old version of you, the 25-year-old version of you? Like, what advice do you have? What word do you have for them?
Yeah, I would say just know that it's going to take so much longer than you ever expected, and to do one thing every single day, because over time that one thing adds up so much. So if you're just to spend an hour on a Tuesday working on your dreams, it's not going to add up. But if you spend 10, 20 minutes every single day of the week, it's always going to be at the forefront of your mind, and it'll turn into so much more by the end of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
There we go.
Zach Windahl with the Bible study. Go check this out. I'm super excited to get into it. Make sure you guys are following him on social, on Instagram. I'm telling you, this dude is super down to earth, super inspirational. And stay locked in. We're definitely going to have him back and dive a little deeper into the business side and the technical side. But I wanted you guys to hear this. So leave a comment. What are your thoughts? You and your feelings? You triggered right now? I want to hear from you guys. Thank you so much.